We've got to have some enjoyment, don't we? No. But I look at your faces, you're saying no. So I apologise, guys, for asking you to do something that was maybe too difficult for you. Ask a better question, you get a better answer.
Maybe give us your top line on that one.
Yeah, well, we approached the game in a particular strategic way. We wanted to try to play a bit differently, extend ourselves, give the young guys an opportunity to show their ability, particularly with the ball. And we were beaten pretty badly at the breakdown, so it's a good reminder of how much work we have to do before Australia. So from that point of view, I'm really pleased what we did. I'm not pleased how we performed, but I'm pleased with the intent of what we tried to do. And it's great preparation for Australia, but obviously not happy with the result.
Do you think there's a time when perhaps you should have gone back to a slightly more controlled game, a little bit more kicking from the base and so on, or was it always that?
Well, we wanted to, as I said, James, we wanted to extend ourselves today. I don't know if we would have played a normal England game, what the score would have been. But that's not what we wanted out of the game. Like, this was preparation for Australia, not preparation to win a game against the Barbarians. Now, we wanted to win the game against the Barbarians, don't get me wrong, but it was preparation for Australia. So we tried to play differently and extended the players, and in some places we didn't cope well with it.
The increased use of Marcus Smith as a second receiver, how will that affect your game plan going forward, judging by how successful he was in that role today?
Well, the one thing I always know, mate, is that when you try new things, you never judge it on its first try. So I think it's going to be very successful, but it won't come overnight. It's not something where you just go and everything happens. But we tried a few different things today, and most of them were unsuccessful, as you saw by the scoreboard, but that's not to say they won't be successful in the future.
How do you ease England fans' concerns at the moment with Six Nations results? Your heaviest defeat today, albeit it's an England 15, not an England test side. It's a big tour coming up, is it?
Yeah, well, I just think, the number of good young players coming through, the potential for the team to get better. And as I said, I can't sway fans. All I can do is coach the team. I've got we used today for a particular purpose. And if we played really well, it would have been a great result, but not necessarily great for us in the future, because we wouldn't have found out things we need to find out about.
What do you make of George Cruz kicking conversions?
Well,
is that a bit embarrassing, or is it?
Well, it's not real. It's a festival game, mate, isn't it? Like, it is supposed to be a festival game, and it's supposed to be fun for the crowd, which we had 55,000 here. Now, we don't like to get beaten by 50. Don't get me wrong, but they were there to have fun. We've seen that before with Barbarians teams, and it's about the spirit of rugby. I think it's great, the spirit of rugby. Like, George Cruz, the bloke who didn't carry the ball much, and he's had a great farewell today. So fantastic, love it.
Can I check on a fair few injury bits and pieces? Start with Alex Dombrand. He looked like he was in a leg brace.
So he'll see a specialist tomorrow and we'll find out, mate.
Okay, but unlikely he'll be.
We'll see a specialist tomorrow and we'll find out.
Joe Cognizant went off as well?
Yeah, well, that's the first game he's played with a lot of running. So we were really pleased with his effort. I think he got 65, 70 out.
But he had a knee knock or something, or left leg, was it?
He had some ankle strapping, but I don't think anything too untoward at the moment.
And ahead of tomorrow, have you still got to have a conversation with guys like Joe Marler, Ben Youngs about where their heads are at and all that sort of thing?
Well, we'll do selection due diligence, mate. Yeah. So that's all part of it. But not necessarily just with those two players.
With Sam Simmons out injured, see what happens with Alex Dombrand, would Billy Vunipola be an option for you?
He would be if he was fit.
Is he fit?
But he's not fit.
So he's not.
Well, I think if you did you guys watch the game yesterday?
Yeah.
Well, you saw what happened at the end of the game. He got knocked out.
Yeah.
So that means he's got a mandatory stand down, and if he's had concussions before, he's got a mandatory longer stand down. So we'll need to consult the medical staff about that.
Same with Schickling, I guess, because he found his HIA?
No, he didn't.
Eddie, was there anything you saw today that's altered your selection thinking for tomorrow's squad announcement?
Well, just a couple of guys really reinforced their position. You know, I was really pleased with Johnny May and Johnny Hill. You know, both of them played 80. Both of them had played for 8 or 9 months in what, you know, that game's quicker than a test match today. So it really tested their physical resources. Tom Curry, you know, the captain here, again, hasn't played much rugby, got through 80 today, mate. You know, was still strong at the end. Jack Walker at hooker. Yeah, I've been watching him all season, and he got this opportunity today and really stepped forward. And then young guys like Joe Cocknesinger and Tommy Freeman, you know, that's the first big. Well, Cocknesinger, I think, has played, I don't know how many games since the last World Cup, but not a lot, you know, and showed that maybe he's getting closer back to his best, and that then gives us something that's a bit of an X factor. And Tommy Freeman, again, first big game he's played, did really well.
Tom, in preparation for Australia, you moved around the back row today, 6-8. Is that something you're going to be doing in Australia?
It's something, again, we'll have to see, but it's something as a back row we prepare for. You know, we had chats about this. I thought, you know, we adapted well, especially, you know, courts coming in. But yeah, it's something we practice week in, week out, make sure that we know our roles and we know how we want to complement each other. But it helps when you've got, you know, quality players like, you know, Unders, Courtney, Chicky, Jack, that you can utilise all their skills and then fit around. So yeah, no, it's something, you know, moving forward, the back row has to do.
Jack made a big impact when he came on. He got some real go forward, didn't he?
Yeah, I thought, you know, him, Courtney were brilliant in terms of getting the ball forward. It's kind of something we spoke about in terms of half time is make sure we're more direct with more intent, and I thought those two especially, you know, when they came on, made a real impact. So yeah, it's good moving forward.
After the breakdown, Burid, Cretan, volleyball, they had quality games, didn't they?
Yeah, definitely. But I think it probably reflects kind of more where we need to be at. So it's brilliant learnings for us as a team. Moving forward, you know, international rugby is like that, and it's a crucial part. It is definitely a step up. So I think, yeah, we definitely need to get our tails up and push forward. But I think that's the exciting part, is we can take it to a new level and we can see how good we are when the breakdown's probably not working so well. You know, if that's on fire, we can even be better. So I think it's only exciting.
Was that just a little bit of an understanding thing, i.e. understanding your roles of clearing, jacking and so on and so forth, something coming together perhaps?
It's a mixture of everything, isn't it? Understanding, intent. You know, you can't put your finger on it. Everything is different, isn't it? But you know, we need to look at ourselves individually and as a team. But as I said before, it's going to be an exciting place when we're on it.
And Eddie, conceding 50 points hit the confidence of the players and the team at the top?
Oh, look, no one's happy about it, mate. But again, we look at it in the light of what we're trying to do. There's a contextual situation here. I know you're struggling to understand it, but there's a contextual situation. We're trying to build a new team. We're trying to play a different way. We're trying to develop a style of play that suits the players, and there's going to be some ups and downs in it.
So will that continue in Australia?
Well, we're not going to go to Australia and get beaten by 50 and run the ball from our own 22. But we've got a style of play that we want to keep developing now, and we'll pick and choose when we use it.
That we saw today.
Well, not in terms of 50 points, but in terms of little bits and pieces of the attack that we want to do.
Andy, are you for a late night tonight, or is it pretty much done for tomorrow?
We've still got 1 or 2 spots we need to look at, and we've got a number of, as I mentioned, a number of injury concerns that will need all the best medical advice to sort out who's going to be available and who's not.
Is George Ford one of those, Eddie? What's the update on him?
I don't think it's too promising, but I don't want to jump the gun, mate.
You said in the week about DC still had a chance to book a ticket.
Yeah.
Should be looking at the seat reservations, do you know?
Well, you'll find that out tomorrow, mate.
Tom, is there a level of pressure you feel as captain of the side, being a leader on the side after success England's last trip to Australia?
I think in terms of, no, is the honest answer, but I think that's where we step up as a group. You know, it doesn't fall on one person, and I think that's where we're blessed. You know, you see the leaders that are coming through, not just by voice but by action and becoming proper experts of their areas, and that's where we step up and all take charge. Rugby's a brilliant sport where, you know, there's so many different facets of the game that everyone needs to take control of because it's moving the whole time, isn't it? So to answer your question simply, no, because I think we're all going to step up.
Well, that's on for me, Eddie. George retiring last game today. Maybe like some of what he did for England rugby for you particularly.
Oh, I just think he's he's one of the players that epitomises what rugby's about. Yeah, not naturally blessed with talent. Was left out of the Sarries Academy at one stage, but kept on pushing. Physically improved himself and became, found his X factor in terms of his game, which was his ability to run a line out. And then became a very successful player who played, 50 odd tests, 40 odd tests, 43 tests for England. Played in a Grand Slam, played in Six Nations Championship, played in the World Cup final. And then went on and played for a couple of years in Japan, had a different cultural experience, and has now made the decision to retire on his terms, using the benefits of what rugby can do for a player, i.e., the business network, setting up his own business. I just think it's a huge success story, mate. And I think it's when people said, was the game being disrespected today, I think it's a great bit of fun. Like, we've still got to have a bit of fun in the game, guys. Yeah, and of course we don't want to get beaten by 50, but I reckon they have that fun for George Cruz, who's been such a warrior, like for England, for his club Saracens, for Panasonic. It's a love. It's the difference of our sport, and I think we've still got to keep that in. Like, we've got to have some enjoyment, don't we? No, but look at your faces. You're saying no, so I apologise, guys, for asking you to do something that was maybe too difficult for you.
Are there any names in particular that you would have liked to have a further look at, but obviously weren't available because of the Premiership?
Well, it doesn't really matter, mate. Does it?
I just referring to.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because I can't do it, so it doesn't matter.
Well, last couple. Anything else?
Ask a better question. You get a better answer.